Hello there! Welcome back to my channel. And if you have not been here before, my name is Linda and I love to crochet. In this video, I will do a tutorial because some of you have asked me for a tutorial for a little jacket, little cardigan for babies or for small children. So this style with the crisscrossing here in front is what I'm going to make now, and I will do a tutorial for it. So I hope you will join me and see if you can learn something about how to make it. It's not very difficult, so yeah, let's just start. Here we go. I am not going to use the same yarn that I used here, but I'm going to use a similar yarn in weight. It's very thin, as is the jacket that I've done, and I will just do in one color now. So this yarn is saffron from Drops. It is 100% cotton, as is the jacket. Yeah, and you also need some pair of cutters or scissors and a hook size number 3. That will be all, I guess. I'm actually going to change it for my favorite hook, number 3. I will start it up with a slip knot and then I will chain 90 chains. Now reach the end, and I will now be doing one length of single crochets back here. Whoops. So into this hole and make these single crochets all the way to the other side. I'll meet you back there. I've reached the end now, so I've made a chain. I've chained one, and now I'm going to chain once more, and then I'm going to make double crochets in every stitch the other way. So just double crochet in all the stitches. It is actually not necessary to do the single crochet first. You can just start straight on the double crochets, because this is not what I normally did on these sweaters or cardigans. These I just did a double crochet at once. So you can choose if you do one single crochet first and then the double crochet, or if you start with a double crochet at once. Now I'm reaching the end, the last stitch, and then I will chain one and turn and then chain one again. So I can chain twice at once, but I like to turn before. And then now I have two choices when I'm going back and forth. I can either make the double crochet in this hole here, so it's a bit tighter that it's not so open, or I can make it in the big hole and it will turn out more open like this. I prefer this one for these cardigans, but if you want it to be more not see-through, then you should go in the small holes. But now I'm just going the other way again, double crochet and turn, double crochet and turn, until I've reached under the arms. So when I've done that and come to under the sleeves or the arms, then we'll meet again and continue. Yeah. So now that I have reached to a length that I want, then I am going to think about making the two front panels for themselves and the back panel for itself. So first I'm going to measure, and I'm going to do a bit more than half for the back panel and a bit less than a quarter on the two front panels, because later I'm going to add some mesh here. So then I'll just count and do the stitches. I started with now 80, and we'll see how many I have now, because when I did the single crochet, I may have skipped some stitches, or but it's not a big deal how many stitches you have. The most important part is that you divide them well. So let me just count how many stitches I have. So now I have 21 stitches on each front panel, and I have 45, I think, on the back panel. So, or 47, I don't know, I have 51. So I have a bit more, and then I have this gap here, and that's good. So now I'm just going to go back and forth here, up and down, up and down, up and down, for some rounds, and then I'm going to start decreasing. Not here, but here, a little bit. I'll just continue the same way as I have started the whole thing. And now that I reached the stitch marker, I'm now going in the last stitch, and then I will chain 2 and turn. And then I'll go back, doing exactly the same. So I'm just continuing this 6 rounds or 6 rows before I start the decreasing process. So I'm on my 4th row now. Now I've done 6 rows back and forth, and I am here in the middle of the jacket, and I'm going to decrease. And the way that I do that is that I just skip the first here. Instead of going in this hole, I go in the next one. So there is already one decrease. And then I go to the other side, and I'll meet you back when I'm going the other way. And I reach here again. Now I've reached the end where I decreased here on that way. I am just going to continue the 2 double crochets like this, and so I didn't decrease anything now, but as I turn now, I will decrease again. So now I will skip this one, and I will go in the next hole. So there we have 2 decreases, and I will do this one more time, or maybe 2 more times before I stop the decreasing. I'll see how it looks. Again, I reached the end. I will just crochet normally the double crochets all the way to the end. I chain 2, turn the work, and instead of taking the first stitch, I go in the second one. And I'm going back and forth, and then I will take a look at how it looks. I'm approaching the end of my 6th row where I have decreased. And well, sorry, on the last here, I think I will just do a slip knot just for now, and then I'll see how it looks like. I'll see what it looks like. I always say that's wrong. So this is how it kind of looks like. A small decrease. Now I can see that this will be my armhole, and I think that's a good size. This is the other cardigan, and this is a much smaller size. This is for a newborn, while this will be for, I don't know, maybe 3 months or so, 3-4 months. And I think this is a good size for the armpit or armhole. So now I will just take off this, and I will let there be quite a lot of yarn left, so that when I am going to crochet until the back panel up here on the shoulder, I have enough by this thread. And so now I will just start to do the same on the other part. So I will do that exactly the same as I did here, up here. Well, so I'm going to start here now, and then I have to make a slip knot on the new thread, new skein yarn, and then I bring it in and I make a slip knot. You can do a single crochet if you want, but now I'm doing a slip knot. I chain 2, and then I start in the same first stitch. Oops. And then I just go with double crochets all the way to the stitch marker. I'm approaching the stitch marker. Got 2 left here, and the last one in that stitch, and then I chain 2 and I turn it around. Earlier I said to you that I chain 1 and then I turn it and I chain once again. That was exaggerating. I was just thinking that was what I normally did, but it's not. So now I'll chain 2, I turn my work, and I just start again in my first stitch and go back. So I'll do this 6 times. This is the 2nd row. I'll do 6 rows before I start the decrease. So I've now done the 6 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm going to decrease again. So I do as I did before. I yarn over after 2 chains, and I don't go in the first hole, but in the next hole. So it's just the same as I did on the other side. So every time I'm going from this side, I decrease once. So I'm decreasing in total 3 times. I could, of course, decrease every row, like 6 times all in all, but I wanted to try to not decrease that much this time and see how that turns out. But if this turns out a little that I've decreased too little or too few times, then I can always go back and decrease more. So we'll see when I reach the end of the back panel and I am to attach the 2 front panel to the back panel. For now, I'm just going to continue this 6 rows again, and every other row for the first row 3 times I will decrease. I'll meet you back when I've finished this. Oops, when I have finished this front panel. So here I have that slight slightly decreasing thing. And when I when I add it or attach it to the back panel, then we'll see if this opening is good enough. I think it will be. I will of course have also here this mesh border like this here, all the way down from the waist area up and around the neck. Here I don't, well, not around the neck, but up until the neck, and then there will just be some single crochets in the back, in the neck. But now let's start on the back panel, going back and forth here. And now I'm not going to decrease anything until I get to the last row on top. So I'll make a slip knot again. And I'll just start. And I'm starting in the same hole as I have the front panel. So this is where I start, and I start with a slip knot. This wasn't very... Let's try it again. Well, I can take off the stitch marker now. I don't need it anymore. I know where it is. Here it is. So I can do a slip knot, or I can do a single crochet. I think I'll do a single crochet next time, and I chain 2, and then I start not in this now because I've already done one here, and since I already have this stitch in the same, then I will start in the next, or go to the next, and then I'll just go back and forth 12 rows, because there are 6 plus 6 without decreasing, and 6 with decreasing, or every 2 rows. So all in all, that was 12 rows in the front, on the front panels. So I need 12 rows here as well. I'm reaching the end of the first row on the back panel, and I am reaching the stitch marker. I guess it's easier now, maybe. Let's see. This is the stitch, and I'm doing a double crochet. Then I chain 2, and I turn the work, and I just continue back and forth, back and forth. I've now done 11 rows of the 12 that I am supposed to do. There are 12 on the front panels and 11 here, so I'm going to do one more. But I want to know where I am doing just single crochets instead of the double crochet, because I wanted a little bit noticeable that it is the neckline. So I'm going to count how many stitches I have here, and then I will do the same here and here, so that it is the same before I attach it. So I'm going with the not with this part that is in the decreasing. So I'm starting here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So 18, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and 18. I will set a mark here. And I will count on the other side just to be sure that it's also 18. I'm going to start from this side. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Yeah, this is the last one. So it's 18 as well. So that was good. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and 18. Here, did I count correctly? I'm counting in English, so I'm not so sure, but I think it seems right. So now I will continue here with the double crochets, and then I will do single crochets in between here, and then the double crochets for the last row on top here. Oops. Let's start over. The first is always a bit tricky. And the last stitch. So now I will be making the single crochets, and I'll take this off. And the last single crochet, and I will take this off and do the rest double crochet. And now I'm reaching the end, and I will not be fastening this here, because I will use this thread to combine these two panels. So now I will first make sure that in this corner, I have to go from the outside and take the yarn. There we go. And now I will connect with crocheting in one loop here and one loop here, and take it through. This is on top of the shoulder. One loop on each side first, and then yarn over, take it through both of those loops and the last chain that I have on my hook. Sometimes I do two, that I pass through two of the threads. It doesn't matter. It's no big deal. Oh, it got stuck now. Let me do it over. And so now I have made the last stitch with the combining the two panels. I make a slip knot, and then I cut off the thread, the yarn, and pull it through. Now I'm going to do the same on the other side, but we can take a look now how it looks here. Just slightly decreasing in here. And then we will also combine here. I want to start here. I have this thread that I was supposed to use, but I want to start out here. It's better. Because if it doesn't line up exactly in the middle here, it doesn't really matter, but here it's kind of awkward if it comes like that. So let's start here. That means that I need a bit new thread. Well, I don't have to cut it, of course. I'll just make a slip knot. And I'll fasten it in the first stitch here. I could do a slip knot, or I can do a single crochet. I'll make a slip knot now. And then when I'm going to attach two panels together, I find it easier to wrap the yarn around my finger like that, because I need it to be kind of tight. The first, as on the other side, go from the outside and in the corner somewhere to find a thread, and then take that through, the yarn through. Oh, it's a bit stuck here. I got too much here. Let's see if I can mend it without taking it. Oh, there it is. No, I'll do it again. Okay, go through, go around, through and through. Yeah, there we go. So now I can start. So I go through. One and on each side. So through from the outside and in on the back panel, through from the outside and in on the front panel, yarn over or thread through the first stitch, the second stitch or chain, and the third chain. And then I'll just continue this. If it's one or two here, I'm not bothered. It doesn't matter too much, but I like it to be one from the front. I don't think it matters, but just preferences, I guess. I'm now at the last stitch, so I do here and then in this and there, and then I make a slip knot in the end and cut the yarn. So a lot of ends now, loose ends, but there we are. So now I will start on the sleeves. The way that I start the sleeves is that I just attach it in the armpit here. So I'll make a slip knot. Oops. And then I'll just attach it here. And I want to make a single crochet now. You can do a slip knot if you want, but I'm doing a single crochet, and then I do two chains. And now that I have these holes that are quite wide, this way they're tall, this way they're wide, I'm going to make 2 double crochets in each of these holes. It may be a little big, that the arms will be, or the sleeves will be kind of big. If that is so, you can reduce, so you can do like just one in each of the first ones, and then you double up here and around, and then you do just one in the end as well. So that can be something that you well, we'll see now how this ends. I don't remember what I'm doing from time to time. So, and now it's been over a month since I made the last one, so I don't remember actually what I did. Well, I can look at this, and it's easy to see that here I actually did one there, and up here. And I guess maybe, did I do 2? No, I did one, no, 2 here. 2 there, 1 there, 1 there, 2 there. So I did some ones and some twos, mostly ones instead of twos. But it's quite narrow as well. Of course, this is for a baby, a newborn. So now let's just do double in every stitch, so you can see how that turns out. And maybe if this turns out very big on the other sleeve, I will do maybe 1 stitch in some of them, so you can see the difference. And then in the end, I will just adjust this first sleeve if this is too wide. So 2 double crochets in all of these stitches, or these holes, I should say maybe. Oops. I'm coming to the middle right now. Here's a bit tricky, but I think maybe I'll just do 1 there and 1 on the next one, and then I'll continue with the twos. I think that's okay. Okay, now I am reaching the end of the round. Let me take off away that thread. 1 and 2. So now I will attach it to the first double crochet here, like that, and just make a slip knot. There you go. Maybe it's a little bit hole, but it doesn't matter, it's under the arm. And then I will just continue. And of course, since this is quite wide, I assume it's wide, I will have to decrease sometimes. First I chain 2 now, and then I skip the first stitch, and then I go in the next one. And I go in between. I'm not going in the hole above, but in the big hole. So we get that effect the same as on the panels. Oops. It's a bit difficult for those that are 2 in the same stitch. Then you have to find where the hole is. Yeah. This is how I'm just going around some rounds, and we'll see after maybe 3 rounds I will meet you again. I've done 3 rounds now, and I can tell that it is a bit wide, but it's not very really wide. So I am going to continue, but I am going to start decreasing. So the next round, when I come to this beginning, I will decrease. So let me show you that when I get there, how I do it. I guess there are other ways to do it, but I'll show you mine. Chain 2. Also, now that I'm starting, instead of starting in the first hole here, I'm starting here. So that way I'm kind of decreasing a bit as well. Kind of cheating. Okay, I'm reaching the end now. Actually, I've gone a bit too far. There we go. Now I have 2 more stitches to go. So instead of doing both of those stitches normally, I will halfway do a double crochet, and then when I have 2 chains on my hook, I will make a double crochet in the next one, go through 2 and go through all the 3. And then I will fasten it till this and chain 2. And this was the 4th round. And I'm not going to decrease on this 5th round that I'm starting, but I will make it in the beginning of the next round, of the 6th round. So, but I am cheating again. So I start in that hole. And then I just go the whole round before I'm going to decrease in the beginning of that next round. So we are on the end of the 5th round, and I'm just going to make them normal this time. And here is the double that I made. So I have 1 more stitch here, and then I'll connect it to the first there, and then I will chain, and now I'm on the 6th round. And now I will decrease on this side, on the beginning of the round. So I still skip this one, and I do halfway a double crochet, and chain again, and make it in the next one, and make that double crochet, and with a 3 in the end. And then I go around, and I don't think it's very important where you decrease, just that it gets evenly done. And you must yourself find out how wide you want the sleeves and how much you want to decrease. And of course, if you want to make 2 stitches in every hole here, or just 1, that is something you just have to find out what your preferences are. So I'm just going to continue now. So this is the 6th row. I will not decrease on the end of the 6th row. I will wait until the 7th row, and that means that I will also wait until the beginning of the 9th row to decrease in the beginning of the round. I'm starting on my 9th row now, and I'm going to decrease like I did before. Halfway a double crochet, another halfway, but this I'm completing. When I have 3 on my hook, I yarn over and pull through. And then I go around again. And when I reach the end of this row, we'll see how it looks right now, what it looks like. So this is how it looks for now. It is still quite wide, but with the decreasing, it will be smaller and smaller, but it shouldn't be too narrow either. So I will just continue and decrease every so and so, and then we'll meet back when I have crocheted the length that I want for this cardigan or this jacket. So I have made the sleeve the length that I wanted. You can see here that I have decreased, and then in the end I didn't decrease. So I will stop this now. I'll just make a slip knot on the end. Well, I've done that. I'm sorry. I've already done that. I'll just cut the yarn and pull through. Well, like that. And then I'll do exactly the same on the other side. Remember, starting in the armpit, and I'm actually going to do the same size. I don't think it was too big, too wide, so I think it's okay. So I'll do this on the other side, and I'll meet you back when I finished the second sleeve. I have finished the second sleeve. It is 21 rows with double crochets, or rounds with double crochets. So now I am to start with this opening. I lost my wooden hook, size number 3. So now I'll have to continue with this one. I lost it in my recliner. My recliner ate it as usual. So let's just continue with this one. I will do 1 round of single crochet before I'll do the mesh up to here, single crochet over here, and mesh down, and the same back. So 2 times I will do the mesh, but first 1 round of single crochets. So I will make a slip knot, and I will then just start here. No, I'm sorry. I'm starting. And then I start on this side so that I will have the front side 2 times. And single crochet, and I will do 2 single crochets in all of the holes. Now that I'm getting to the decreasing part, I am still doing the same thing, because there are the same holes here, so I'll just do 2 single crochets in all of these holes. And as I approach the shoulder part, that is where I'm going. Well, I'm going to do the same thing, of course. There are a lot of ends. Maybe I should have woven them in before, but well. So now that I've done 2 in every hole, here on top, I will just do 1 single crochet in this one and 1 single crochet on the other side. And on the back here as well, I will just do 1 single crochet, but now I will not do it here, because I've already done single crochets here, so I will take it into the small hole up here in the stitch. So I'll just do 1 single crochet in all of those stitches around the neck. So now I've gone all the way on the back in the neck, and I've reached the other shoulder. Now do the same, just 1 single crochet in on the neck part of the shoulder part, and then 1 on the other side. And then I'll continue with 2. Oh, I think here I'll just do 1, but I'll do 2 single crochets in every hole now, in all of these holes, until I come down here. So I've done 2 in all of the holes, and in the last here I will just do 1 single crochet, and then I'll chain 2. I've chained 1, so once more, and I turn my work, and now I will do mesh all the way. So I've done 2, but I'll chain 1 more, so it will be 3. Then I make a double crochet, but I skip, I don't go here because this is the first, and I skip this one and I go in this hole. So every other, and then I chain 1, yarn over, and I skip 1 stitch and I take the next one. So that is how I get these squares. And I have a kind of a tight crocheting, so I won't be kind of sloppy. So it gets kind of tight. If I do it like very loose, then it will be like, like this, it will be much bigger. So to get them even, I'm kind of holding everything tight, because it's much nicer also when the holes are quite small. So, oh, maybe I need to chain 1 and yarn over, double crochet after skipping 1. And this I will do until I reach the shoulder part. Now that I've reached the shoulder part, I will just continue with the single crochets on the neckline. So just do 1 single crochet in every stitch. And when I get to the other side, then I continue with the mesh. So now that I've reached the other shoulder, I will do 1 more here. Oh, let me see, maybe 2 more. This stitch on that side, oops. And I'll do 1 on the other side, that's okay. But now I will chain 3, and then I will yarn over, skip 1, and go in the next one. Seems a little big maybe, but it will come nicely. And chain 1, yarn over, skip 1, and the next hole. And that's how I will continue. Now I gotten to the end, I chain 1 and I turn the work, and I will do exactly the same on the way back. So I chain 2 more and I stick it into here. Now I will not do it in here within the hole, but I'll take it in the stitch between. So chain 1, yarn over, and make the kind of double crochet in that stitch. So this is what I will do all the way around. Well, not until here, of course, and then I'll do the single crochet, and then here I'll continue with the mesh down to the other side, and then I'll be finished with a cardigan, and then it's just the strap left. Well, I forgot one thing. When I am now here on the shoulder, and I'm going to do the single crochets here, and I want this to kind of decrease in a sense, I will chain twice here, and then I'll take the last stitch before the corner here, and I will make a slip knot there, so that it kind of gets a triangle form instead. And then I'll do single crochets on the others, on the neckline, on the way to the other side, so it will look like this. So now I've reached the other side, and I will make a single crochet here and once more. And now that I am coming to the first hole on this side, I will chain 2 and I will double crochet into here like that. So it kind of makes a triangle also, not chaining 3 like the other times, but just 2. And then I chain 1 and I go about it the same way as most of them, down to the end. So now I'm reaching the end, and I will make in one of these small stitches the last mesh and a slip knot in the end. So there you go. And I'll just cut off the yarn, and there we go. So here we have the jacket or the cardigan. And I'm thinking that the reason why some people wanted me to show how I make these cardigans is because of the mesh. I'm thinking that. And I have some tops, some summer tops that I make as well with also the mesh, and with the strings or the zigzaggy. And those I just do one round or one row of the mesh. I don't do two as I did here. So that's just preferences. So now I am going to make the strap that goes along with this. And I guess I will be putting it up until here, from down here and then up to here, more or less. I could have it way further down, but I can take it more up here. If you want it to be wider in the neckline, like this one is, for example, then you'll just have to decrease. Instead of every 2 rows, you can take every row to decrease. Yeah, so let's make a strap. I'm going to make the strap, and I've now taken here like 4 meters of yarn. Then I put my hook inside here and I twist it around. I take this kind of yarn and I pull it through here. Then I pull it around there and around there. I pull here or grab it, and then I pull it through. Again, under there, over, under there, and pull it through both of them. Under, pull them through. Under, pull them through. This way, I'm making the strap much stronger and nicer. I think this looks very nice. And this I'll just be continue doing for quite a long time. I could actually do it until I don't have more yarn for the 4 meters, but I guess this will be way too much, so I may stop before. But it doesn't matter if it's too long, then I can just unravel the rest when I'm finishing, when I put it into the holes on the cardigan itself. Well, in the end, I did make the whole strap, the whole 4 meters, 3 or 4 meters. So this is what I've left. I will cut it off here and run it through. So now I will just be zigzagging this on the cardigan. So I will start on the bottom, go in here, and under here as well. And then I'll just find the middle. You can't see that, of course, but this is kind of the middle. And then I will just take these up every 2 holes. So every other hole. Oops, sorry. Oh. And then I guess until here. So I will cut these straps and I will make them just, well, I'm just cutting them first. I'm going to do the easy part. I'm just making a knot there, and then I'll cut here so that we get a little kind of a tassel. Oops. This was not the way I usually do it. So you should not do this. I'm going to make a new strap because now I've broken this one. And then I'll do what I normally do. I'm actually going to weave in these ends down here. And another thing that I see here is that I didn't start way down here either. So, or neither. So I'm thinking about making one more row here of single crochet, and maybe I will do double crochet in the beginning and the end, so that it will be a nicer ending on these two. But I will first weave in the ends, and I will of course do that on the back side. So I'm just going to weave them in along these, oops, threads. And I'll go across here. Going a bit down again. Or, well, let me go across here. It's easier when you come to this. I kind of feel like these are islands, and this part here is more solid. So here it's easier to be weaving in. And when I've done kind of much that way, I will go back a little bit as well, so that they won't be opening. And there, and then I'll cut it off. And that I'll do with all of them. There we go, that was much nicer. All of the ends are woven in. So now I will just do this border or this round here so it doesn't stand out as much. So when you want to do this, it's better if you can start even a bit further down. I can see that it wasn't very nice now. So let me just take another round. I think I'll do double crochets in the beginning, since it's here that it's lacking something, while here it's okay. So I think I will fasten it in the stitch and not in the hole, but in the stitch here. Make a single crochet, actually a stacked single crochet first, like that, and then I will do double crochets in the hole first and then in the stitch. Oops. And then in the hole again, and then in this stitch, and now I will change until single crochets so that they will be even. you see that? It looks much more even now. So now again, single crochet, and then double crochet in this stitch, in the hole, in this stitch, in the hole, and last but not least, in one of these stitches, and then a slip knot in the end. Let's see how this looks, what it looks like now. This looks much better. It may be a bit strange seeing the strap from here instead of way down, but I think it looks much nicer at least. So I will do the strap again. I made it again. Now I just took almost 3 meters, so we'll see how big this is. And now I will just do what I normally do. Now I have put them through the whole thing, and I have this left. And I'm thinking this is a good length. This is a bit longer. Let me see, show you. It's a bit longer, and instead of now cutting off this one, since I did that on the other, I thought I wanted to show you that. I was thinking about taking that out of the video, but since you don't have to do the same mistakes as I did, so that's why I just kept it in this video. So this is how you should do it instead. Just unravel, so they're the same more or less. There you go. A little bit more. Yeah, there, more or less the same. And then we will drag it through, run it through. Let's see where there we go. And of course, now instead of cutting off and everything, I will first tie these twice. Well, they're very big, very long. Let's just take off some of it, and then let's tie them twice. Once and twice, and then I'll just weave them into here. It's kind of tricky because it's not very, even though it's double-stranded, it's not very thick because the yarn is so thin. But try to weave in these ends. It will be a bit thicker, of course, here in this end than the other end, but it's not that noticeable. So just weaving it in here and there, well, not here and there, going around, going back on it, of course. Not going back and forth, but just going down. We've already tied them up in the well, up here, so it won't unravel. Let them run through these stitches. I think maybe we're done, so I think this will be okay. And then just cut it off. Cut them off here. There you go. It's not that noticeable. It's a little bit thicker, but you can't tell actually, because this end also is a bit funny. So now I can just tie it. And there we go, a finished cardigan. So here we go, this is the cardigan. This is the back and here's the front. And I really love these straps and the crisscross and of course these mesh things here. I hope you liked this video. I hope you liked this tutorial and that you can get help from that. And when you make your own cardigan, it's not very difficult. It's actually really, really easy. So I'm kind of feeling like this is not a big deal. It's kind of easy for anybody to do. These mesh here, they look kind of difficult, but it's really easy when you just go for it. So good luck to you, and if you make something, I will be happy if you will comment down below and tell me how it goes. And if you are new to my channel, I would love you to subscribe to my channel, press like if you like this, and thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you back soon. So thank you very much and bye bye!